you are a victim of assault and rape. And this is why you were so adamant about no men
Right.
in the damn bathroom. I commend you, Nancy, and I'm behind you 100%.
Thank you. As a rape survivor, and half of every woman who's assaulted or abused are going to get post-traumatic stress disorder. And I suffer from PTSD due to a deeply traumatic event that happened about a year ago. I've lost about 30 pounds, never taken Ozempic, okay? Just to be very clear.
Good for
But
you.
it's been very traumatic for me. And so I am deeply passionate about women's private spaces because I know how vulnerable each of us are. And so I don't want to see a rape victim or any woman or girl be forced to undress in front of men. Like that's just, it's not a thing. It should never be a thing. When this thing hit me in the face and I saw this was coming down the pipeline on the hill, I was like, this has got to be stopped full in its tracks. And I've heard from women all across the country. We filed a bill, another bill last week that would affect federal property and protecting women on that property. I have another one in December that'll affect schools and literally anyone who gets federal funding. We're going to ban men from women's spaces, period.
What I find just utterly repulsive is that, Nancy, just a few years ago, all this stuff was considered a mental disorder in every medical journal out there. And then poof, like thin air, we just turned it into, okay, there's a headline here where Tim, who goes by Sarah, I believe this is a trans Montana lawmaker saying that she, meaning talking about the other trans person you're having the beef with, is every bit biological as cis women. This is another trans lawmaker agreeing with McBride. I'm sorry, but you're not, and you're not going to convince us otherwise.
This is about science,
Thank
right?
you.
I mean, literally the left tells you follow the science, and yet they just make science up. I mean, I failed biology when I dropped out of high school, but even I know the difference between a biological man and a biological woman. And it's worse than just having this in our schools. They're pushing this gender ideology onto kindergartners, onto 5-year-olds. Like I told my kids that when they went to school and the whole pronoun thing was trending, I was like, you better not come home with pronouns. You better come home with A's and B's. I don't want to hear any of this gender
I like that.
nonsense. I just watched a story. Someone sent me a story this morning on X, and you can follow me at Nancy Mace on X, but about a baby named Sparrow, and the parents weren't going to give it its gender until it decided what it wanted to be gender wise. Like this isn't, babies don't get to pick their gender. You're either born with sperm or you're born with ovaries. Like it's that simple. It's biological and it's science.
What do you make overall of Trump's pick? There's only a couple big ones left, like FBI director. We think it's going to be Kash Patel, Secret Service director, maybe Dan Bongino. How are you viewing Trump's cabinet pick so far?
I hope that there is some disruption within the cabinet. The people chose Donald Trump overwhelmingly. He won the majority. He won all 7 swing states. This was a mandate, and they want change. They don't want Washington to do what Washington always does, which is to beef up the establishment, to do what they've always done, spend more than ever, lie to the American people. We need people who are going to be put in to disrupt, to tell the truth, and do what's right by the American people. And oh, by the way, cut trillions of dollars in spending while they're at it. And if this means that a disruptor moves into an appointment and people want to quit, don't let the door hit them on the way out.